Well, hello everybody once again. My name is Khoa, lecturer of anatomy, physiology, and medical terminology, and welcome back to the series Drawing to Learn Anatomy with Khoa. Today, we will be drawing out the last branches of the celiac trunk. So, celiac trunk part 2. And these branches are going to go over and supply the pancreas as well as a part of the duodenum. Okay. All right, so now a couple disclaimers just like before. First up, I'm going to draw it as low as possible so that you can follow alongside with me. But should you ever find that this video is moving way too fast, you can always push the pause button on YouTube, catch up, and then we'll be continuing to draw these things together. Okay. Number 2 is that you're going to need 2 pens in this drawing exercise. One pen is either going to be a black or a blue pen, and this is going to be used for the structures like the liver, the stomach, the pancreas, so forth, so on and so forth. The other one is going to be a red pen, and this red pen you're going to use in order to draw out the arterial branches. All right. Okay. The last disclaimer is that anatomical variation, yes, it is very much a thing. Okay. Remember when we talk about in every video that these branches of arteries is going to differ from person to person. Okay, you cannot expect everybody's celiac trunk branches is going to be the same. It's not going to happen. Okay, anatomical variation is very much a thing. Okay, so now another extra disclaimer before we start. The duodenum over here, duodenum, okay, is a complex structure in terms of blood supply. Why? Because of the fact that it gets its supply from both of the celiac and the superior mesenteric artery. Gee, but why is that? It's simply because of the fact that the foregut actually ends at the middle point of the duodenum. Okay, every part here of the duodenum up here are going to belong to the foregut. But then when you get down here, this part of the duodenum, okay, most of the transverse part and the ascending part of the duodenum, that's going to be midgut, okay? And therefore, the duodenum is actually going to be supplied by branches from both of the celiac trunk and the superior mesenteric artery. How is that going to happen? Let me show it to you, all right? So remember, when we were drawing out these structures before, okay, we talk about a branch of artery right here. It is called the gastroduodenal artery. Okay. And remember that the gastroduodenal artery branches off from the common hepatic artery. All right. So the gastroduodenal artery, in the last video, we talked about how it gives off a branch to the greater curvature of the stomach, and that is the right gastroomental or right gastroepiploic artery, right? And now, after it gives off that branch right here, I'm just going to draw a stump here. So it's going to be the right gastroepiploic artery, right? Okay, I'm just going to use abbreviations for this. Okay, but then after that, the gastroduodenal artery is going to continue to go down like this. Okay, it's going to continue to go down. And when it goes down, it's going to give off 2 branches. Okay, number 1 is going to be right here. Okay. And number 2 is going to run just like number 1, but at the back, okay, a posterior side. Okay. Now, notice that these 2 arteries, they are running within the groove that is formed by the head of the pancreas and the duodenum. That groove is in between these 2 structures. Okay, and these 2 arteries are going to be, number 1, the superior anterior pancreatical duodenal artery. Okay, superior anterior pancreatical duodenal artery. And then the one on the back, this one, is going to be the superior posterior pancreatical duodenal artery. So you see, the superior anterior and the superior posterior pancreatical duodenal arteries, they are going to run on the superior side of this groove that is in between the duodenum and the pancreas right there, right? And now, here is where the magic happens. At the level of L1, which is right here, there is going to be a branch that is going to get out from the abdominal aorta, and that branch over there is the superior mesenteric artery, or SMA for short, okay? And the superior mesenteric artery is going to go down here, okay, posterior to here, okay, and it's going to run over to this side where it's going to juts out like this and runs in front of the pancreas like this. The part of the pancreas that is going to be behind the superior mesenteric artery, that part right there that I just shaded in, that part is called the uncinate process of the pancreas, all right? But that's not very important. You just need to know that the superior mesenteric artery is going to go out from the aorta at the level of L1 versus the celiac T12, okay? And it's going to go down, it's going to run anterior to the uncinate process. And right here is going to give out two branches that go up here and anastomosis with the superior anterior and the superior posterior pancreatico-duodenal arteries. Okay, so these are the two branches that I'm talking about. Okay, this branch is going to be the inferior anterior pancreatico-duodenal artery. Okay, and it's going to anastomose with the superior anterior artery of the same name. Right? Now, the one that is in the back, this one right there, is going to be called the inferior posterior pancreatico-duodenal artery. And it's going to anastomose with the posterior superior pancreatico-duodenal artery up here. So you see, because the superior posterior and the superior anterior arteries are coming from the gastroduodenal artery, which in itself is a branch of the celiac trunk, right? You got a part of the supply for the duodenum coming from the celiac trunk. But then you also have the inferior anterior and the inferior posterior arteries that comes from the superior mesenteric artery. And therefore, the supply to the duodenum is a dual blood supply coming from both the celiac and the superior mesenteric artery. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so now when we get that out of the way, I'm going to erase this a little bit here. Okay, I'm going to get this one and get it to go over here so that it won't get in the way, because the arterial supply for the pancreas is going to go straight down here. Okay, so now, the head of the pancreas, the uncinate process of the pancreas, as well as the neck of the pancreas is going to be supplied by the superior posterior and the superior anterior pancreatico-duodenal arteries that we talked before, okay? But now, how about the body and the tail of the pancreas? How about these portions right there? What supplies them? All right, so now let's talk about the splenic artery. So you have the splenic artery here, okay? And it's going to give out branches that's going to go down, okay? One branch is going to go down here, okay? And it's going to go over there to that portion here of the pancreas, okay? And that branch is going to be called the dorsal pancreatic artery. All right? Another branch is going to go down from the splenic artery like this, go down here like this, get over here. Sorry, should use these dashed lines, okay? Should use these dashed lines because all of this is posterior to the pancreas, okay? So that branch there is going to be called the great pancreatic artery. All right? So you have the dorsal pancreatic and the great pancreatic, and they will form what is known as an arcade of artery, okay? On the posterior side of the pancreas that will continue over here to make an artery that goes to the tail of the pancreas. And so what is that called? Artery to tail of pancreas. What a nice name in that you can remember it way too easily. Okay, all right. So artery to tail of the pancreas, okay? And usually the superior anterior pancreaticoduodenal artery is going to give out another branch that is going to form another arterial arcade with the dorsal pancreatic and the great pancreatic as well. So for the body and tail of the pancreas, you got these arterial arcades here. Let me just color them in. There it is. Okay, you got these arterial arcades here that ends with the artery to the tail of the pancreas. And those arcades are going to be formed mostly from branches from the splenic artery and the superior anterior pancreaticoduodenal artery. Okay, and so that is the supply of the pancreas. All right, guys. So thank you very much for sticking with me so far. Today, we have gone through part 2 of the celiac trunk and look at the blood supply for the pancreas and the duodenum. It is a very, very interesting journey, and I hope you learned something from it. Okay, my name is Khoa. Thank you very, very much for sticking with me so far once again. If you like this video, please click the like button so that I am recognized by the YouTube algorithm. As well as if you want to keep up with more content in the future, please click subscribe. I hope to see you guys in the next videos of Drawing to Learn Anatomy with Khoa, and goodbye. Have a good day.